expect that, and it's me. I'm back. That's my official announcement. I'm back. I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. Life hits hard. You can plan your time down to the hour, the minute, but what exactly gets thrown your way is really mostly up to chance. Which is all to say, not ever did I expect to be back here so soon and in such capacity. Let's spin the tale from the beginning. It's a combination of factors. A stressful living situation didn't help, but a large portion of the reason came from my interactions with Peppy, one of which you can see on Twitter, and another more privately in the internal Discord server. The latter I won't leak, but involves a discussion about the 2019-2020 OWC prizes, and concluded in a pretty lengthy and insulting paragraph that basically called all of my passion moot and my efforts wasted. Anyone, when faced with such a thing from the person directly in control of your fixation, would lose a little spark. I instead woke up one day with it completely gone, and unfortunately for me, this happened sometime in the middle of the 2021 World Cup. So, I pushed my ultimate goals, and finally called it good after the last one had been achieved. Private life has been punching me in the gut. To be honest, I'm kind of glad that I didn't have to deal with all the stress that OG tournaments put me under. 3 weekends have been a godsend for my mental health. Though in the absence of my overarching performance goal, I've been kind of retracing my history through all the hobbies I used to have. I took up card games again for a time, something I've always fallen back onto as a crutch, and I won a few locals here and there, but never really put the time into perfecting the gameplay. My cards have since been sold on to people who will love them more than I ever could. I revisited my BattleBots obsession, I built a few, and I even won a Best Driver award. This hobby is going to stick with me far into the future. Being a participant of a sport I've been a fan of for nigh on 20 years is extremely rewarding. Martial arts and exercise goals are steadily being met, as are the other goals I set for myself on January 1st this year. I'm on track to have all of my core goals completed by about October, which is crazy to me because I've never been one to stick with resolutions at all. Although, I suppose because they're goals, I don't have that usual pressure to perform that I really have punctuating my life a lot of the time. The rest of the time, though, movies, TV, books, escapism through media. Whether that's any different from how it used to be, I don't know, but at least it's not YouTube. I'm finding myself spending greater amounts of time doing this, which has to be curtailed soon because the invite from Kreutz to attend Roundtable 2 was entirely unexpected, but very welcome. Although I did try to convince them that someone who'd been around playing for the last year would be a way better invite because they could play way better than I could, but they made me go. Time of my life. Loved it. Questioned the entire time why I'd ever left the community, which actually led me to having a minor crisis after I came home and processed everything that had happened over the last week. A week later, I bought my COE ticket and played in the tournament qualifiers, a thing that I never would have ever thought I would have the desire to do again, but how the people make the place. On the Tuesday OSO event, I was given the unfortunate news that Peppy would be attending. I, at the time, did not want to be in the same place as him, and rightly so. On the Friday OSO event, he shows up, he flits around here and there, records that laser spotlight with Pishy, and I disappear early for reasons that I can't quite remember, though had nothing to do with his presence. On the Saturday OSO event, after Sheba and I had finished casting the Tuna Krilla Grand Finals, which might I add was an amazing experience, and I thoroughly recommend you go and watch it, I'm hanging around stage, signing things, and Peppy approaches me and apologizes. Not what I expected, but please do continue. He presents action steps that he's taken to improve how he communicates and tells of how he knows and accepts of how his interactions with me directly influence my departure from the community. Oh my. Now, everyone deserves a second chance, and a sincere apology after the month of interaction that I'd been having with all of my old friends resonated every chord in my brain, and I couldn't say no to coming home. A chat with Peppy and Smoogie on our way to a bar one evening ended up some way or another with my commitment to being a top player dev liaison. I won't go into detail on what we talked about, but TLDR, the dev team acknowledged that they'd been distracted by their own commitments and didn't really give the goal of getting laser scoring online enough of their attention. The role I've been given is to take the high-level community's opinions on board, bring the insight to the developers, and steer the direction of the future of the game, as well as to make sure that the quality of life is up to par so that when the new client's adopted, older players aren't scared away by how different everything is. As for what else, I'm honestly not entirely sure. I enjoy streaming and connecting with people that way, and I'm going to publicly open coaching slots to people who apply for them. Prior to this, I offered coaching to anyone who DM'd me asking for it, but if more people know, more people can ask, I guess. Tournaments are doubtful though, and I won't be playing on the stable client if I can help it. My performance goals have been met and far exceeded, so I have no drive to push harder than casual gameplay for enjoyment, though I do want to get my skills back, because everything is so much more fun when you're not far behind where you were. Will I stick around after the laser release? hopefully. I want to fill some commentary roles, I want to make things with my friends. I'm looking at the extended break it took as a sort of sabbatical, and honestly one was due because it's been nearly 9 years since I started playing and streaming in this game, and it was about time for me to question my faith anyway. All of the friends I've made here, old and new, are very valued and very loved, and I can't wait to get back to making ever greater things in ever-expanding ways. I'll be taking my time finding my routine. If I disappear for a week or so, I'm not gone, I'm just busy. Life hits hard, and I'm doing my best to roll with the punches.